AI summary.
Yeah.
Two men valiantly battle against the clock that they forget to press.
Every week.
Every
We
week.
have literally like 3 jobs. Bring topics, talk about those topics for 10 minutes, and press that one button.
Yeah, exactly. Right, are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's rock and roll. So in this episode, for people just joining now, James, what are they going to hear about in the next 20 minutes?
They're going to hear us talk about, Rich. I've not had enough coffee. They are going to hear us talk about, well, one, we spoke about AGI. So we spoke about, are we going to completely wipe leaders off the planet? And is AI going to be the new AI manager? And then we spoke about winning the day, not being confused, distracted by all of the noise in the market or inside of the organization, and just focusing on what do I need today in my role specifically to be wildly successful.
Welcome back to Field Notes, fast becoming tech's favourite podcast, isn't it, James?
Yeah, we're going to be stinky rich.
I did actually have some incredible feedback from some people in my network the other day that they really like the format and the sound effects. So kudos to you, young man.
I'm a late night DJ, Rich. What are you saying?
Yeah, I think maybe it's a future topic, but I'm going to talk about why do we take it so blimmin' seriously when
Yes.
ultimately all we want to do is have conversations with people that give us energy. Maybe that will link into this one. So welcome back to Field Notes. We've got 2 topics for you, 10 minutes each against the clock. This week, I've got a topic, James. Do you want to hear what it is?
Yeah, let me know what you got.
So I want to talk about something that's coming up in all the conversations I'm having at the moment, which is what will the future of leadership look like when artificial general intelligence comes, probably in 2027.
Or at the speed AI is moving at, tomorrow about 10:30 a.m.
It might have already happened when we release this podcast.
Probably has.
We'll have the open to work banners on LinkedIn.
Or we'll just drink Aperol and play golf.
Happy days. Yeah, exactly. Speak
right.
to my AI. Cool. If you're ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
You're born ready.
Let's do it.
Your 10 minutes are up.
So everyone's worried about AI. And it's really weird the way that the news cycles are talking about it now. It's in every news cycle. Often it's a very negative thing. You can't pick up your phone or log onto your computer without seeing someone doing incredibly well. So comparatively, you feel terrible, or someone becoming available, or a business going bust, or the market crashing, or a war. It's a disaster. So we're going, well, what does that mean for us? And all the podcasts I'm listening to at the moment and all the thought leadership experts I'm talking to are talking about AGI, artificial general intelligence, and how that's likely to come in 2027. And the meaning of that is that AI will become as good as, if not better than, most people at doing most jobs, particularly white collar jobs, which are yours and ours, yours and mine. So the problem is that we could all become completely irrelevant. Why would we need to have leaders in a world where there'll be something much smarter than us that can make better decisions? If that is the case, what does that mean for the people that have spent their life becoming leaders and love to coach and develop people? And therefore, what's the solution? What do we do now to be on the right side of history so that when AGI comes, we're future-proofed and we're not there going, oh, why do we stay in the print press when everyone's moving to online media?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want to talk about.
That's really interesting. Like, if think about like history, Rich, as like things have like been rolled out. I remember years and years and years and years and years ago, could be like 10 years ago, I was selling telco, and BT made this announcement that they were turning off like the copper cables that used to run into our buildings to provide internet. Some people listening to this still get that. It was only recently I'm on a little private road here full of old ladies, and they don't put all the decent internet in here. And I've been here for 8 years. We finally got it, but that was announced like 10 years ago or whatever, and it's still like being like turned off, right?
Yeah.
And then like we think about call recording, think about Gong, like what, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 years ago,
Yeah.
we kick off engagements and people still aren't recording calls. They don't have anything in place. So,
Yeah.
everyone's like, oh, AI is going to kill like engineering or marketing or sales in like 16 days. People still aren't recording calls yet. We believe that coaching our sellers is critical,
Yeah.
but we're not even recording the calls so that we can listen back to those calls and do a coaching conversation. There's more to it than that. So, like, do you really think like 2027 is going to be the year where AGI really kind of kicks in and every leader is going to be wiped off the planet, or do you feel like actually it's more hype and maybe the ineffective, inefficient, I don't want to say leaders by job title, not by like passion,
Yeah.
maybe those guys will be gone? Like, how do you see it actually playing out?
I think, yeah, exactly. It's a really good point. I think most people will get wiped out because I think most people, if you look at the majority, and this is very much a British problem, so it'd be interesting to get some of our international listeners' take on this. But if you speak to most people and you say, "How are you?" in Britain, they say, "Not bad." And you say, "How was work?" "Ah, so so." "Anything exciting happening?" "Not really." "Could be worse." That's like the British way. So I think there's a lot of people who are in jobs of like management level who don't love what they do and aren't committed to it as a vocation and kind of get trapped into it. I think those people are gone
Mhm.
because you can get something that has the IQ that knows what to do to come in and do that. So if IQ is becoming democratized and in not just democratized to our level, but it will be smarter than us and it's already smarter than a lot of people, is what's the real value of the leader moving forward? And I don't think the problem with humans is that we don't know what to do. We know how to have a six pack, right? Do we have a six pack?
Yes. That's why I've raised my desk, Rich, so that no one can
Prove
call
it.
me out.
Prove it.
That would be viral. Oh my god, you're so ripped.
So we all know how to have a six pack, but do we do it? No.
Mm.
So often it takes something really bad to happen for us to go and like kick into gear or like a health scare, and then people start looking after their health. But like life is built for comfort. Like it's all built for comfort and convenience. That's the way of life. So if we like use it in that way to go, right, I've got a one-to-one with my team, what should I do? And we go, right, AI is to give me this one-to-one template. And then we do the role play or the meeting. And then we take the transcript and we go, what should I do next? If we do giving AI that level of control around what we do, what is the value that we have? But it's not the value. The value is that we need to bring people on the journey with us. And so all these companies, if they don't have leaders who are able to build very deep trust and understanding with their teams, build strong personal relationships so they will fight for them, go to war for them, really care about them, want to do good, want to do well, come to learn. If they are not able to tap into the brain and the emotion of people, no one will come with you because we all know what to do. And if we give AI control over our people in terms of their scheduling, in terms of their enablement, in terms of their coaching, in terms of their project management, all of that, then I think that that's when we're going to become a bit irrelevant. So I was speaking to an amazing sales leader who I'm meeting in London this week, who's in New York, and they were talking about how they're using AI in their AI native company in a way that they'd never seen it used before. So I asked her the question, which is, what role do you see leaders playing as AI becomes smarter than us? And she was exactly on the point, which is it's our ability to understand people and our ability to get results through people and with people and to help them to grow that is the missing ingredient. And it really just made me go, actually, if IQ is now democratized, EQ is the true value. And I don't think that there's many roles in life where EQ is more important than in leadership.
Do you think then there'll be more focus on that in terms of like stepping up new like first line managers to enable them to like, acquire those skills and, show more empathy and truly understand and get intimate with their people so they fully understand their needs, wants, and desires? Why the hell do they get up every day? Why do they get punched in the face 100 times if you're an SDR and AE? If
Yeah.
you're a revenue leader, Why do you go through the pain of trying to hit the number every quarter that the board's given you that's probably not possible? Like,
Yeah.
do you see organizations leaning into that more? Because historically, I don't know about you, but that's not been something that I've experienced as a
No.
revenue leader.
No, I don't have a crystal ball, but my boldest prediction would be that we're going to go way too far in the wrong direction before people
Hmm.
go, "Oh, sugar, what have we forgotten?" You know,
Yeah.
it's like you're talking about with salespeople. Why are we missing the number? Oh, well, where did we forget along the way? Oh, we forgot that we're not doing role plays. We don't have a scorecard. We don't have training. We just like flying by the seat of our pants every single week. It's the same with leadership. When did we forget to go and build those deep relationships with people? When did we forget to take the time to understand what goals they're trying to work towards? When did we forget that we had to stand out in the way that we hire people? And
Yeah.
I think we've forgotten so much of it. And AI, if you ask it for advice on things, it can be a really good sounding board, but it
Hmm.
doesn't really often give you a good answer. And when you know about a topic deeply, you realize how much crap it gives you back.
Yeah.
And so what now it's doing is it's learning from all of us. It's learning from everyone in the world that's using AI what good looks like. But there's no feedback loop. You don't go and get an outcome and you go, by the way, just want to give you some feedback on that one, AI. You told me to go and do that. I did it and I got a terrible result.
I got
Or,
fired.
yeah, exactly.
I'd like my
Or,
£20 a month subscription back, please,
exactly.
ChatGPT.
Or, by the way, that was amazing. I got an incredible outcome. We don't really give
Yeah.
feedback to it. So it's taking all this input. I don't know. Obviously, it's much cleverer than I am. But how on earth are these companies working out what good looks like?
Yeah.
But we know the more it does for us what bad looks like,
Yeah.
and the stuff that we ignore. And I just think that loop where the victim of our incompetence is the people in our teams will only be really seen when you get massive churn, when the numbers are completely missing, when people aren't enjoying it and the culture's bad, you're losing clients. That's when we'll realize, we forgot something along the way. And it's probably we put way too much and way too much like importance on the number and not enough on our people. And the number's a result.
Yeah. I got a question. I'm going to give you the question. I'm going to tee it up. So, the question is like, if we think about a revenue leader right now listening to this, what can they do to start making moves in this area? Because I've been on a couple of calls recently with opportunities in our pipeline,
Yeah.
and like some of them are quite big companies, and they're like, "Hey, we've just acquired 1,000+ licenses to Claude. We're rolling it out to the team. We haven't done any training yet. We want you to come to like our SKO
Yeah.
and do like a speaking slot and some exercises where we're going to be rolling out the training, and that's in like December. And it's
Yeah.
anyone's curious, it's June right now
Yeah.
listening to this. And we're going to go through the cycle again where we gave everybody all of these sales tools. We spent all of the money on these sales tools. We didn't enable anybody, and surprise,
Yeah.
surprise, we still can't build pipe and convert ops. Now we've got, companies got ChatGPT, Copilot, Claude, and Gamma, and all these different tools in their toolkit now, but nobody's teaching them how to prompt and all of that kind of good stuff. So with that in mind, like, what do you think organizations should be doing if they were to kind of walk away from this conversation and go, I'm gonna start doing this today to support or overcome that challenge whenever it hits us?
Yeah. I think we should be putting as much effort into learning psychology as we do prompts. And as much time spending really learning about what are these most important skills that we need to have as leaders when EQ is so high on the value scale, are we investing into that? Because it's been really, really recent thing that we started doing. But as I was going, my podcast is called What Makes You Tick, the main podcast. Let's get some people on who can answer that. Let's get some neuroscientists. Let's get some proper psychologists who are doing like the top level of education, doing this as a business. The same people that train elite sports teams and have now switched to commercial roles. Let's get them on. And I'm like, I didn't know any of that. So as soon as I started asking questions about it, and that's just for a podcast, I'm like, this is incredible. It's scratching my itch to want to go and learn those things. So have I personally taken it as seriously? Or have I just gone like, I've got a natural strength for reading people and picking up energy and good EQ? So I need to get more serious. I think that if we go, are we the best that we could be in our knowledge of how our brains work and therefore how our team's brains work? If the answer is no, let's start investing into that now and then be the ones in our business who bring that back into the rest of the organization, because everyone will benefit from it.
Yeah, agreed. And just before we wrap, I don't think that's just a revenue problem, right? That's like org wide, like operations, finance, HR, legal, like any IT, all parts of the organization need to be thinking about leaning into this if we
Yeah.
believe AI is going to continue going the way that it is going to go. I think it will get there. I just think it's going to be significantly longer, widely adopted. It's going to take a long old time,
Yeah.
but it will eventually make its way there in most
Yeah,
cases.
exactly. And I don't think we want to be told. I don't know about you. I'm going to finish it.
Mm,
Is I don't want a computer telling me what to do. I find it
correct.
difficult when a human tells me what to do,
Yeah.
unless they're very good at like getting me to think it was my idea and like understanding me. Like when someone comes on and goes, "Oh, you should do that." If
Mm.
we get computers telling us to do that, there's no way we're going to do it. So that's why we need good leaders with good EQ.
Well, that's what like coaching, right? Like a good coach doesn't come in and say, "Hey, Rich, you should do this," because you learn nothing from it. They should ask you really good questions,
Yeah,
come prepared to guide you and like lead you down the path to you becoming self-aware and realizing, maybe I should do that. Like there's lots of value in that. So AI coming in and giving you all of the answers to the homework doesn't really help, from my point of view
exactly.
anyway.
Cool.
I'm sure someone will
Are
correct me
you
in the comments.
are you ready for your
I
topic,
am,
James?
and in disguise, I'm getting the timer up because I freestyled that. So when Matt's editing that, he's either going to say that was 6 minutes or 16 minutes. But
I think it was quite close.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll change it. 2 topics, 10 minutes ish,
ish
against potentially a
10
clock.
minutes, and in the brackets, 27 minutes.
Yeah. AI summary.
Yeah,
2 men valiantly battle against the clock that they forget to press
every week, every
every
week. We
week.
have literally like 3 jobs: bring topics, talk about those topics for 10 minutes, and press that one button.
Yeah, exactly. Right, are you ready?
I am ready. So I want to talk about something that like I've been using for a long old time, but I've been using a lot recently, Rich, in business, in building this business, but also in my personal life because I've spoken about this recently on LinkedIn. But I got a 2-year-old boy, and it was all cool until he could run. And now he's running, and I'm like, geez, like I'm struggling to keep up with him, which is embarrassing to say because I'm only 34 years old. So
Sure.
I've been leaning into this framework in and outside of work, or like mental kind of thinking. So I want to talk to people today about win the day.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
All right,
Another
uh,
one.
we'll have to get t-shirts. Win the day.
I
All right.
like it. So
So I don't know
why
if
do you
this.
want to talk about
Well,
win the day? What does it mean
I
to
wonder
you?
if this resonates with you. So, because like you're building a business as well, but a lot of the organizations that we work with, like CROs and VPs of sales, they are, and I get it, like they're so focused on the month and the quarter, got to hit the number, all this other kind of stuff. But when you actually stop and look at the calendar, and like let's say it's like 5 p.m., you're listening to this, like actually open your calendar and be brutally honest with yourself. Did I use the 8 hours today effectively? Like, let's say the team are really behind on pipeline. Did I just agree to come into those 3 exec meetings, that random like meeting with marketing and product that I didn't really need to be there? Like, or did I just use those 8 hours, and did I sit down with one of my top reps who's really struggling at the moment and just sit there for 2 hours next to him or her and just observe and just watch what they're doing and see if I can diagnose what's preventing them from being successful? Is it the list, the messaging, the tonality, their approach, whatever it might be, right? And like if I kind of then flip this to like outside of work, like this morning, for example, the alarm went off at 5 o'clock, 5:15, and it's been a long old weekend. And I was like, oh, like I really don't want to do this today. But I jumped out of bed, put my gear on, put a weighted backpack on, and up I went up this like really, if anyone knows the area, Portsdown Hill. It's like super steep. And I, walked all the way to the top of it, and then turned back and came back and had a coffee and did some press ups and stuff outside. And like I started the day, like by the time the boy was up at like 7 a.m., I'd done like 8,000 steps. and and did some mobility and stuff like that, got my body moving and had a protein shake and things like that. And like, for me, winning the day is focusing on today. Don't worry about the month or the quarter. Like, if I put the right inputs in every single day, that stuff should take care of itself. you know so that's why I want to talk to, like, maybe pass on that message is like, yes, like, you might have these big numbers. Yes, sometimes when you're a VP or CRO, you're thinking, how did they get to that number? Show me the data. They typically can't. And you're like, I've got to go figure this out. And we can
Mm.
sometimes get so used to just refreshing the dashboards, becoming a scoreboard manager. But
Yeah.
that's not what your people need. You need to have this obsession with, what do I need to do today to be wildly successful for me personally and for my team.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
if that
so bringing people on the journey with us here. So
Yeah.
that wasn't your reality going back 2-3 months ago, right?
No,
So what was your mindset then?
just
And you had that sort of realization when you couldn't keep up with your boy, that you went, right, I'm going to do something about this. What was your mentality back then?
so before then, like, he wasn't running, he was walking. So like, it was quite easy down at the park and things like that to keep up with him. So I was just pouring all of my effort and energy, like unhealthy amount of time, in this office, trying to build a business. I've been onboarding a couple of people recently. We've won some really, great but large customers. They've been quite demanding. So I've just been pouring everything into that. And
Mm.
like, I know some people will disagree with this, but sometimes you grab something, you snack throughout the day just to keep you moving. And when you're shutting your laptop most nights at like 10 p.m. or whatever, it's a bit too late to go to the gym. Or if it isn't, like, you got a 24 hour, it's tough. Like, you're shattered, especially when you got a kid. So it was fine up until then. And then I took him to the park one weekend, and he was like running around the field, and I was like chasing him and trying to have fun with him. And I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus, that was tough.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, I got to sort my life out. And that's when I was like, well, where's the obsession got to shift? And I just
Yeah.
look at the priorities and just time block.
Yeah, it's interesting. I sometimes post on LinkedIn about running that I do, and
Mm,
I know that there's like a group of people who are so elitely fit, like our mate Bill, right?
yeah,
Bill Richards, yeah, like he's
yeah,
like runs marathons all the time, super fit people who've reached
yeah,
incredible levels in their career and maintained that. I've got lots of friends who are doing like Ironman. There's a level. I'm
yeah,
nowhere near it. I'll run 10K a week, and I feel good about that. If I don't do it, I
yeah,
feel terrible.
yeah,
But then I know that when I do that post, there's a lot of people who have completely lost that rhythm. Maybe they used to do it. Maybe they're feeling unhappy with where they are right now. And I know that it just makes people go, "All right, if this guy went from like 119 kilograms to 100 kilograms, maybe I could start it too." And for me, I had enough is enough. I was getting taxis everywhere, sweating all the time. Got to 119 kilograms, looked at myself and
yeah,
was like, I feel so unfit, and my energy is so low. So, which is slightly different to what you're saying, because you've maintained a very high level of productivity.
mm,
My productivity did suffer, and my
right,
overall energy and vitality suffered too. And I think a lot of people are there because the pressure of work is so demanding. You've been working on building your own business, which is a different level of like agency and ownership that you would take. But I guess a lot of people listening to this might be in a role. So, what would your advice be for someone who's maybe going, I'm not like 100% totally in love with this. There's bits I like. I'm really good at it. It's important to me, but I don't have that like extra bit that if it was my own thing, I think I'd find a way to push through that day.
yeah. Look, it comes down to how bad you want it, really, at the end of the day. And like, no one's got a gun to your head saying you need to walk into, IBM's office every day. Like, you have choices. Like, that's one of the big things that doesn't get spoken about a lot on LinkedIn around like these sales gurus. But like, sometimes it's hard to sell a crap product that doesn't really solve a massive problem, or it's only kind of okay in an okay market. But when times are tough, like, it just gets pushed out the boardroom, right? So I think it starts with being honest with yourself and like, am I passionate? Am I fired up? He's probably not listening to this, but one of my buddies, he started his own business years and years and years ago, and I was doing some like online like e-commerce business at this on the sides as well. But that was his full-time gig, right? And I was making like $400 to $600 a day, just like transaction, and I'm doing like online ads. And he was really struggling. And anyway, he shifted just before he ran out of money and was have to go back to work. He used like loads of his savings, and it's just because he wasn't passionate about what he was trying to promote and sell. So he then struggled to write copy and content and promote it and things like that. and I've not seen him in years because he's like spends like 9 months in Bali and like makes, you know, 6 figures a month and things like that, and he's built a really really good life for himself. So I think it does start with like doing what you are passionate about. Like I do not dread Monday. This is going to sound terribly sad to a lot of people, but when Friday afternoon comes around, I'm like, this sucks because like I've got to stop, in theory, doing my actual work. I'm still going to be in here most of the weekend in between the boy and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
I genuinely love what I do. So I think that's one that's important.
Yeah.
But two, like there is 24 hours, Rich, in a day. Like, and the reality is like 6 hours is plenty for sleep. You know, so people that complain and say I don't have time to listen to my reps calls or go out on the in the field and do whatever, there actually is. It just comes down to priorities and how bad you want something.
Okay.
And you
I
make the
might push back
decision.
on you on the 6 hour sleep thing, because I think that a lot of data would disagree with that one. But some people have different requirements. So
Maybe that's just me.
let me ask you a question, because I do agree with what you've said. And I think that everyone's been in roles where they weren't in love with it, and you can easily be in that company for 10 years and then go, I need to get out. Like the answer is get out. If you've got a team like that, so you've got a team that aren't in that peak state, maybe you've got some people on your team who are really like on top of their like state management and are seizing the day, and then you've got a group of people who are really struggling right now. What can we do as leaders to help our teams to seize
So
the day,
look,
win the
obviously
day?
you need to try and get the most out of your people, right? It's really important. Like motivate them, really get to understand them, right? Support them, enable them, like give a shit about your people, right? But there's got to come a time when if those people aren't going to change and you're the VP of sales and the board have asked you to do something, hit the number, and you know that's not going to be possible. I was really good at this, sometimes too, like honest and uh, forthcoming. I was really transparent about like the out quarters. I'm like, hey, this ain't looking good. If we don't solve this problem, we're gonna have to let people go, or like shit, things are gonna happen. So like, you have to be good at managing up and being a good communicator up to people that maybe are so disconnected from the root cause or like the day to day, and be like, hey, out of the 30 sellers, there's 7 over here that have been through these programs. We've done these. We've had these conversations. Sure, we could put them on a pip, but if we put someone on a pip like we're adults, I shouldn't have to put someone in a pip to tell them to make the phone calls or do whatever, right? We are adults here. This isn't nursery. Like, really, we're going to have to cut a bunch of fat and we're going to have to rebuild and we're going to take a hit. But like, this is my get well plan. And that's what some guy that sat on the board of Staff Circles, super successful guy, he was like, you just isolate the problem, diagnose it, and then build a get well plan and manage it, manage up and communicate effectively. Here's the problem. This is how we're measuring it. This is like the real thing that's actually causing this to exist. Here's how I'm going to solve the problem. Clearly, and people are like, cool, let's go do it. But I think a lot of leaders just are too afraid of them being seen as, oh, I thought like when they like training, for example, Rich, they're like, they don't say this, but I know this is what they're saying. People would be like, oh, but aren't you like the CRO? Like, you're meant to be the best salesperson in the world. Why are you bringing in a sales trainer? It's like, no, like I don't have the capability or capacity to run a program, because most people don't get taught how to do that effectively when they step up. So I think it's just about just being really clear about what you're trying to achieve and then communicate it really effectively.
Yeah. I think the other side of that is if you've got people really, really struggling and you're trying to do everything, you can't like lead a horse to water. Is it right that they're in that role? They're very capable of doing something to an elite standard. Maybe it's just not that thing. And I think helping people through that thing that they probably don't want to like be aware of or don't want to acknowledge or take ownership for is, should we be finding you a place where you can be really successful? Because the fact we're having to talk about making dials or doing this activity or learning this thing or completing this training, maybe it's just not that aligned. Maybe we should have a grown-up conversation around it. And I always really appreciate when people have that conversation with me. And I know that whenever I had to have that conversation with people, whilst it was never an enjoyable conversation at the time, you see people afterwards flourishing. And that's like part of I think the job of leaders. We think we can save everyone. And when we let that go, I think it's really powerful.
Some people just don't want it bad enough, and that's okay. I do think we forget that as well. Like, it's okay for people to want to sit on the sofa at 5 p.m. and watch Netflix and go and play tennis and, go to coffee shop after work and chat rubbish and gossip about Real Housewives of Orange County. Like, some people want to do that. That's actually okay. But like, there's this thing online or just in general, it's like, oh my god, you work the weekend, you're a terrible person, or if you don't work the weekend, you're a terrible person, or you're not going to be successful or whatever. Just let people do what they want to do. But the point here is, if you've got people on your team that won't change, don't care that much, and you've got to go and do something that can sometimes feel impossible, you are paid a lot of money to be in that role, to go and have tough conversations and do hard things. And if you don't go and do that, unfortunately, it will be you that will be cut, and then those people eventually will go, but you'll probably go first. So it's about just like winning the day, going back, to what we started with. What do I need to do today to be wildly successful? Like, I won't promote them too hard, but we built these daily planners. And like, I'm looking at Monday, I posted about it this morning on LinkedIn. The top part says pipeline goals. What do I need to achieve to do today to be successful? Set a target. And then at the end of the day, reflect, did I actually achieve it? If not, why? And then underneath it is pipeline management task. What do I need to do to advance 3 to 5 key deals for the quarter? Not like obsessing and worrying about the quarter. What do I need to do today? There's 8 hours. How do I use those the most effective way to build pipe and convert ops to revenue?
Yeah. Yeah. Fair play. I like it. Nice. I want just as a quick ending point to that one. What's the problem? So do you think it's that the people are just don't have the tool to do that, or they've not got the people around them helping them see that? What's causing people to lose sight of just some of the really basic stuff that they could be doing to put themselves in the right frame of mind with the right energy and the right clarity to make the right decision about what they do today?
I think people, Rich, really struggle to stay in their lane. They scroll LinkedIn and they see somebody doing something and they assume that I need to go and do that. And they worry about the race that everyone else is having. But you might be running a completely different race. Like, I've never ran a marathon before, but if I try and keep up with what's that dude, Mo Farah, is it? Like, he's going to beat me up, right? If I just focus on James Bissell's race and just try to get to the end, regardless of the time, that's a win for me because I've never ran a marathon before, right? And I struggle to run to the end of the road, hence the change. So, like, I think it's just, yes, one, it's tools. The first line leader sitting down with the rep or the seller or whoever it is, second line with the first line leader, whatever, and like having those conversations and being like, forget all of this stuff. What can we do today to advance these 5 people or to advance that deal or to book that meeting or whatever? Forget everything else. I think there's a part of that, but I do think we get caught up in, oh, you need to do multi-threading. Oh, you need to build a business case. Oh, you should be deploying medic. Oh, you should be doing this. Yeah, but do I need to do that right now? What should I actually be doing based on my context?
Yeah.
I think that's a problem.
Yeah. Fair.
Confusion.